I was in Guadalajara, Mexico, when the Mexican military killed Jalisco head cartel boss El Mencho, and it was definitely a time. I'm looking down at my notes right here. This happened on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I was in town when it happened. It was so odd because in the morning there was a marathon, half marathon going on. I woke up too early on Sunday, 7 a.m., saw people running the marathon, went back to sleep, woke up to at 10 a.m. to a mountain of texts like, are you home? Like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So here's what I learned from that situation. Suddenly my travels no longer became about the fun of travel. It became security, community, freedom. So let's talk about the thing that not many people want to talk about, which are the economics of travel. If you don't know already, I am Christina. I am a personal finance and career coach for digital nomads, current and aspiring digital nomads. And this is something that comes up a lot with what I do, because in the travel community, the mantra is travel now, money returns, YOLO. I quit my job. I don't have anything lined up. I'm going to take my savings and I'm going to eat, pray, love around the world. And I personally find that very irresponsible, which is why I travel the way I do, where I can work and travel at the same time. So that way I don't have to be in these types of situations. Going into my notes here, like this is my disclaimer, what I have. It's not about politics. It's about the options that you have in life and if you actually have them. So I understand that there are many different perspectives, especially from, in this case, like the Mexican people. There's side one where they're saying, no, don't come here. We're not your playground. Like people are asking, should I cancel my vacation? And they're saying, yeah, please, like cancel. We're going through a hard time right now. We don't know what's going on. I have actual family here that's in danger. Our country's not your playground. It's not your vacation spot. We're people here. And that's one side. There's also another side that's saying, actually come here. Tourism dollars funds our economy. Things are fine where I am, like where we are. Mexico's a big country. Just because something happened in one part of Mexico doesn't mean it's ubiquitous. So I hope that you can understand as a traveler, or even someone that's like not a traveler, they're on vacation for the first time and however long, they saved up for months and months and years for this trip, and now this happens. So they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not a savvy traveler. I don't know how dangerous something is. I'm not familiar with the situation. And also keep in mind, at the end of the day, many travel insurance policies do not cover civil unrest. They don't cover issues that are like let's say an extreme weather event that's not technically a tornado, not technically a hurricane. Like it's bad, it's not ideal, but it's still like they don't want to give you your money back. But I'm going to focus on the civil unrest part. So you have, let's say, a person, I'm going to talk in the US for this situation. You have an American being like, okay, well, I'm not going to get my thousands of dollars in my deposits back. Should I just go on this vacation anyway? Because I can't get this money back. I can't afford to lose out on this money. Some people are saying that it's still safe, so maybe I should go and maybe it'll blow over by the time that I arrive to my vacation spot. But this fear of the unknown, this fear of this country that I'm not a part of, this fear of traveling somewhere new, and also at the same time, correct information from locals being like, no, like don't come here. You can see how it's a lot going on at the same time. There's a lot of opinions to weigh, and you could definitely understand how someone would be like, money is a big factor. The economics of travel, especially during a period of uncertainty, is a major factor. Can I afford to lose out on this vacation? Am I going to let, if I forfeit thousands, like maybe $2,000 worth of non-refundable fees, am I going to risk my life over $2,000? So that's the first part. The second part is about the financial reality of this situation. I talked about the economics of travel, of vacationing. Imagine someone where they took their last dollar and they put it towards this vacation, and now people are saying, don't come here because it's dangerous. Or like, I might have to deal with this dangerous situation because I can't miss out. I can't let that money go to waste. That was my last bit. If the prospect of canceling something like this disturbs you, it means that you didn't have a big enough margin. Like you shouldn't have been traveling in the first place, to be quite honest. Traveling is discretionary. It's a privilege. It's something that you don't have to do. And I say this as someone who loves to travel. So I would not want to be in a situation. I'm not saying I'm not saying this to act like I'm better than anybody else. But this is why I warn against the mantra of the travel community saying, Forget about the money, it returns. Because sometimes it doesn't return, and sometimes you actually need it now. You don't need to hope that the money might return someday when your deposit is like right here, when you can't afford a price gouge flight home when a situation pops off. That's why money is super important to travel. I know this may seem like a big duh, but there are so many people who put traveling on credit cards. They use their last dollar. They have nothing saved up. They have no emergency fund. They have no safety net. So this is a prime example of why the economics of travel is so important. Something to keep in mind in this situation also is that I'm a digital nomad. I don't really have a home base. I mean, of course, my lovely parents, thank you, but like, I don't have an apartment, and then I'm also going to go on a trip and like pay also for rent at my home base, and also pay for a hotel in the place where I'm vacationing. It's a different type of mindset that a full-time traveler has versus a vacationer, but both should be the same in terms of having a large enough financial cushion to protect you in situations like this. So in situations like this, you need to be able to ask yourself, if I can't afford to completely blow this money on this vacation, if I can't afford to forfeit the money that I spent on this vacation, can I actually afford to go? Because a situation like this may happen. And I say this not to disparage the country of Mexico, Mexican people. I'm American. It's a hellhole over there. People are shooting, police are doing whatever. Our country is so violent. There are many people who I've talked to, many nomads here from America that felt like they feel safer. They feel safer here than they do in the U.S. Our police officers shoot and kill us dead on the spot. So we're unfortunately used to violence. So this is not something that's particular to just Mexico, to just one part of the world. In any part of the world, there could be civil unrest. There could be another situation that has nothing to do with the government or violence. There could be a weather warning. There could be a tropical storm. There could be a potential hurricane. But the same question comes up of, should I cancel my trip? Should I hope for the best? So the point of what I'm saying is, can you afford the loss of this vacation? If you cannot afford to lose out on the money of this vacation, reconsider taking this vacation until you are more financially stable. So that way you don't have to risk your life over a sum of money that would be trivial at the end of the day if the worst were to happen. Like, are you really, really willing to risk your life over $1,000, $2,000, $5,000? Something else to consider is this whole decision framework of, should I cancel my trip? Consider who you're getting sources from, especially when there are times of chaos. Right now, there are so many AI videos, AI photos going around spreading false information, and it's alarming with how scary and real it looks. So ask yourself, are the people telling you to continue going on your vacation, are they travel agents? Do they work in the travel industry? Do they have something financial to gain by getting you to not cancel your trip? Think of the airlines and their policies, the hotels and their policies, any excursion that you booked and their policies. Do they actually have your best interest in mind, or are they just trying to make a dollar? Keep in mind the perspective of local people, people that are in the situation that you would be in that place. So for example, consider the perspective of a person, a Jalisco native, someone native to the state of Jalisco where Guadalajara is, and also Puerto Vallarta that experienced a lot of the narco bloqueos and the burning of buses and cars and banks and everything like that. Consider their opinion, and also the opinion of people who would be more in a tourist like yourself, like their situation as well. I'm not saying any opinion is right or wrong. Just have a fully comprehensive view of what's going on, so that way you can make the best decision that you can. So I'm gonna get to, this is the conclusion. Civil unrest, this is just this situation that I'm talking from because I've lived it. This has been a week full of anxiety. Civil unrest doesn't just test like the government, the local people, and processes, things like that. It also tests your financial structure. So if you're a person that always gets by off of the skin of your teeth, a situation like this will really be financially devastating to you. For example, there hasn't been price gouging here, but it could be. If you live in Florida, in Louisiana, in a place in America where we have hurricanes, you already know that the price of water, the price of canned goods, the price of staples skyrockets, the price of gas skyrockets when there are hurricanes. So I'm not saying that price gouging is okay. It should not be normalized. I think it's bad, of course, but When it comes to survival, can you actually afford to pay for that? That's why considering your finances is important. I know going on vacation is fun and like you'll figure it out later with the bank, with Discover, with Visa, and you put everything on Klarna and it's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, it's not fine. That's just my 2 cents on this situation and the economics of travel. I work in this industry and I see a lot of the opposite, people trying to forget about the finances when it's an integral part of the privilege of being able to travel. So with that, again, I'm Christina. I'm a career coach for current and aspiring digital nomads. And in situations like this, if you were considering risking your life, risking just a good vacation, because even if you do come to a place where they just experienced a horrific, traumatizing mass event, would you really have like a fun vacation? Like so many of the restaurants and excursions that you want to go to will be canceled. The mood around town is somber. So if you are willing to risk that for just a couple $1,000 in the grand scheme of things, especially when your safety is at play, you have bigger fish to fry. If canceling a trip like this would financially derail you, that is a leverage issue. You don't have a lot of financial leverage, which is where I come in. Again, personal finance and career coach for people that want to travel full-time, being digital nomads. Working abroad should expand your life. It should make you feel more fulfilled, more rich. It shouldn't be fragile. It shouldn't be something that you're always skating by the skin of your teeth. So if you want to build a career that gives you more options in life, then work with me. I invite you to work with me. There are 2 ways to receive my coaching. One is my online course that I recently launched in fall of 2025 with my signature Wander While Working framework. And I also have one-on-one coaching spots available. So yeah, I hope that everyone is safe watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.